Craig the Snake is at it again. Sidescrollers is enabling yet another anti-Nintendo agenda to try and get a little bit of views, to try to get a little bit of attention, to try to do a little bit of self-promotion for this no-name developer that's trying to pretend as if Nintendo is censoring him because his game is just too hardcore. It is laughable to see the same tactics be utilized over and over and over again by these people and not really see anybody really catch on to what's going on, because Nintendo isn't going after anybody. It's not, they don't hate your political views. They're not censoring your game. Like, the reality of the situation is they have a very clear set of guidelines that they do not want political material of any kind on their platform. They specify that quite often in all their marketing materials and all that. And these guys decided to go out there and say, oh, we're going to make a based red-pilled video game, and we're going to call out the wokesters, and we're going to make a hardcore political statement. So, of course, Nintendo rejected that when they realized what was going on, and these guys cried foul because they deliberately violated Nintendo's guidelines, the stuff that's very, very clear and very, very apparent that they don't want to be involved with political statements. It is incredible, to see the links that these people will go to play the victim and to make things up. And it does need to be understood more what's going on, because I would imagine this was intentional, that they deliberately set this up so they could self-promote themselves in this way. Like, please buy our uncensored version of the game on Steam. Like, they tried creating some controversy over around this release to try and drum up some relevancy, to try and be talked about, and yet nobody really cares. Okay, nobody is gonna look at this game and say it's amazing or it's some great thing or that Nintendo is some evil corporation. Like, anybody who looks into it even a little bit, like I did, knows that this game was rejected for a very good reason. It was overly political. And that is something that we don't want to see on any video game platform, regardless of political affiliation. Okay, this is the thing that conservatives don't seem to understand. The thing they always seethe about is that they seem to have this mindset that liberals are allowed to do whatever they want, when in actuality that's not true. Okay, there are lots of very rigid social aspects to modern liberalism, right? You very specifically have to do certain things. You have to believe certain things. You have to advocate for certain causes. You have to do certain things, know the right people, live in the right area. There's lots of very specific things you have to do to be considered in the in crowd in the liberal indie dev, progressive circles, right? It's not some get out of free jail card where you could just be liberal and then suddenly get people swarming your Patreon. Plenty of these people hate each other. Just look at what happened with Movie Bob and Lindsay Ellis. Okay. Those guys have lots of infighting. There's lots of collapses. There's lots of all these issues. A lot of these people aren't doing well. Okay. This idea that the industry is inherently favoring people based on political ideology is just wrong. That's very observably not true. And what we're seeing more and more of is that conservatives, grifting channels, like Sidescrollers, are creating this fan fiction alternate reality where Nintendo is allowing all this degenerate leftist material on their hardware while rejecting based red-pilled material like this game. That is that's typically what we see when it comes to these situations, is that some game, some developer that no one has ever heard of, Nintendo has banned my game, and it's never actually true. There's always some caveat. There's always something they didn't do properly. I believe in Germany they didn't file the reason it was banned there was because they didn't file the their equivalent of the age rating system correctly. Like there's all sorts of reasons why this happens. Like this idea that like Nintendo of America is specifically targeting developers based on their political affiliations is retarded. Like it's really something that really should be called out and just kind of rejected. It's something that I'm very tired of seeing and very tired of hearing about. And it always results in the same thing where like these developers just come on like some grifting show like Sidescrollers and start running their mouths about how Nintendo is like out to get them. And it's just like, please support our game on PC. No, like there's nothing you can do to get me to buy your game on PC. Like your game is shit. Like your game is a nothing burger. Like nobody even knows what it's called. It's not even going to be like, you're not even like the only developer doing this like anti-Nintendo grift. It's like Nintendo censored our game. Like nobody wants to hear it. Okay. Nobody believes you. Like you'll be on Sidescrollers for the day and you'll be immediately dropped because no one cares. No one likes your game. You are just an irrelevant grifter trying to leech off of Nintendo's good name. It needs to stop, okay? And like there are lots of developers that I know of that do this a lot. Compile Hard is probably the most blatant, but it does need to be said that we do need to push back against this. I am very tired of seeing these kinds of people come out and like start crying about how they have pregnant wives and how they have to like pay their bills this week and how they were counting on this Nintendo release. It's like, come on. Like nobody believes this. Like it's all like it's basically what we're seeing. We're seeing the equivalent of like the Anita Sarkeesian death threat. Where we were supposed to just drop everything and believe her because like, oh, I was harassed. Like this is like the conservative equivalent of that. It's the same nonsense, just on the other side. And like that's kind of how I look at this, is that this isn't like something that's organic. It's not something that's like that's actually happening. It's something that like these people are weaponizing to try and promote themselves by grifting off the Nintendo hate, because they know that like if you claim that Nintendo is censoring you, you'll get a lot of attention from certain people in the sphere. And those people will platform you, they'll interview you, they'll promote your game for free under this false allegation that like Nintendo is coming after you because of your political views and not because like you didn't do something you were supposed to do during the submission process. Okay, like it needs to be understood that these people are grifters and need to be rejected. It is embarrassing how many times we have seen this happen over the past several years. It absolutely needs to stop.